Will Egypt follow suit with the US and announce a change to interest rates? We have macroeconomic analyst from CEE Market Watch to give us his insight. So Pavel, what are you expecting to see happen at the meeting later today?
Yeah, we expect a rate hike of at least 100 basis points because there is also expectation on the market that there will be a sharp devaluation in the local currency and then a more flexible FX regime. And I think that the central bank will hike the interest rate as part of its policy to stabilize the pound, which is right now seriously overvalued, especially following the recent decision of the central bank to raise the local currency value against USD by 0.2 basis points. The local currency was stable for 10 consecutive auctions before that. But right now, for example, there is no confidence in the pound. On the black market, like 1 USD is traded for 8.52 Egyptian pounds, and the official exchange rate is like 1 USD for 7.93 Egyptian pounds. So this is why we think that when the pound devaluates, which is most likely to happen in the future, there should be a high interest rate to offset the inflation.
Okay, well, Saudi Arabia has pledged to invest a total of $8 billion into Egypt over the next 5 years, as Riyadh looks to boost military and economic ties with its ally. The pledge comes despite a sharp fall in Saudi Arabia's income from oil. Though what exactly is the significance of this deal?
Well, the deal is really important because first it shows that Saudi Arabia is continuing to support Egypt, and then the deal will stabilize the reserves of the central bank, which are right now disappearing at a very fast rate due to the U.S. Currency auctions, because the central bank right now sells dollars and the reserves are disappearing. So the deal is definitely going to boost the reserves. And on the Saudi side, I mean, Egypt is it's the largest Arab country in terms of population, and given the current regional instability and the wars in Iraq and Syria and the chaos in Libya, Saudi Arabia would prefer to have Egypt, to keep Egypt stable. This is why they're also supporting the country.
And lastly, Egypt is targeting a GDP growth rate of close to 6%, as well as a reduction of 8.5% to the budget deficit by the end of the financial year ending 2018. All good targets tend to be realistic and achievable, so do these aims meet such criteria in your view?
Well, I don't think that the GDP growth rate is realistic. Well, I mean, there are large projects that are currently underway in Egypt, and there are also GCC-sponsored programs that they're going to support GDP growth next year. But at the same time, the exports are not doing well due to the currency problems. Then the domestic industry is also underperforming due to bottlenecks, lack of natural gas, and also USD shortages. I mean, most of the industrialists, they can't afford importing the materials they need to keep their production going because they don't have enough funds to pay their imports. I mean, the shortage of gas is also a big problem, but there are indications that it's going to be resolved soon. Another problem, another drag on the GDP growth could also come from the continuing, internal security problems. I mean, if they keep going, they could also affect tourism, the country's tourism industry. As for the deficit, well, I mean, the target is actually achievable, but it may also come higher than expected.
Thank you, Pavel. Be sure to check back with Dukascopy for more updates throughout the week. Goodbye for now.